Hey, what's up everyone, it's your girl Vanishing, and today I have some book mail that I want to share with you all. So if you want to know what's inside of all these packages, please stay tuned. And I am back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. So like I said before, I have some book mail that I want to share with you all. I have a rep package, I have some publisher mail, and I also have some book of the month unboxings I want to share with you of the books that I picked for October. So the first package is from Pug Pages. Pug Pages is a business that's on Etsy where she hand paints the edges, and they are gorgeous. And if you want, you know, to indulge in the books that she hand paints and stuff like that with the edges, I have linked all that stuff, all her website down below. And also I have a rep code that you can use for 10% off, so that will also be down below in the description. So let's go ahead and open this package. So what in this package is, there'll be a hardcover copy and then there'll be a paperback. And these are books that I picked particularly because I wanted to read them. So here is the package. And so for the paperback, I chose this book right here. It is a novel, A Love Country Bride by Preslacia Williams. And then here is the edges. She hand painted the edges, and it's beautiful. I like the orange. It's glistening. You see that? It looks really beautiful. And this book, I believe this is a series too. And even on the back of the blurb from Essence, it says 2021 is bringing us the Black romances we deserve. So let me go ahead and read the synopsis on the back of the book. So it says, Maya Jackson has worked for Laura Whitcomb Inc., a renowned New York City bridal gown brand for years, and she dreams of becoming head designer. She has the talent, she just needs a chance to showcase her unique style. Due to an illness, Maya has always prioritized her career over her personal life, until her father fractures his hip and she returns home to Charleston, South Carolina. Although there for only a few months, she's thrilled to find an opportunity at the local bridal gown boutique, never expecting sparks to fly with its owner. A military veteran and widowed father, Derek Sullivan, hopes to save Always a Bride from bankruptcy in order to preserve his family's legacy. He also wants to reconnect with his estranged 12-year-old daughter, who is still recovering from the loss of her mother 3 years earlier. The last thing he needs is a relationship with a beautiful, smart, complicated woman who will be leaving soon. When Derek begins to fall for the lovely Maya, he knows there's no future, but destiny has its own plans, and these two lonely people with big hearts discover that coming home to love is the best gift life can give. So yes, this is a series. This is book 1 of the series, and I also fell in love with the cover. So yeah, and you know, this is a good representation, I believe, of Black love, which all of us have been wanting, is Black love so much, and I believe this is a good book to get started with that. And even with Preslacia Williams, she is an award-winning author who writes heartwarming romance and women's fiction with an Afro-Filipino twist. Proud of her heritage, she loves sharing her culture with her readers. A graduate of Columbia University, Preslacia is a professional actress, a planner nerd, an avid bookworm, and a homeschool mom who wears mismatched socks, which I do the same thing. But yes, so this is one of the books that I chose for my rep package from Pug Pages, and she did a fantastic job. And once again, my rep code as well as Pug Pages website is down below in the description if you want to indulge in that, and you know, hit her up with one of the books that you recommend, because she can definitely customize it for you. So yeah, this is this first book. And then the hardcover copy which is one of my anticipated reads of the year, which I want to read this before the year's over, and that is Sugartown Queens by Mala Noon. It says author of When the Ground is Hard and winner of the Los Angeles Times Book Prize for Young Adult Literature. So here is the book right here. I have not heard anything about that. Like, I haven't heard anybody raging about this book. I know Ashley from the Bookish Realm had read this book, I believe maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and she enjoyed it, and I've been wanting to read it. So yes, and it looks beautiful. The cover is what mostly got me. When I didn't even know nothing about the description of the book, I was just, I want this book because of the cover. And also, here are the edges. So it's like a rainbow, and it's like, look at that. It's beautiful. And it goes with the cover along, you know, with the greens, the oranges, the pinks. So it's beautiful. She did a fantastic job. And then with this book alone, let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this one. So it says 15-year-old Amanda's mother has always been strange. For starters, she's a white woman living in Sugartown, one of South Africa's infamous shanty towns. She won't tell anyone, not even Amanda, about her past, and she has visions, including ones that promise the return of Amanda's father, as if he were a prince in a fairy tale. But their hard-scrabble life is no fairy tale. Amanda knows her father is long gone, since before Amanda was born, and she's pretty sure he's not a prince. He's just another mystery and missing piece of her mother's past, and one of the many reasons people in Sugartown give them strange looks. That and the fact that Amanda is black and her mother is not. Lately, her mother has been acting even more strangely. So when Amanda finds a mysterious address at the bottom of her mother's purse, along with a large amount of cash, she decides it's finally time to get answers about her mother's life. With her best friends by her side, Amanda is ready to take on the devil himself, and as she confronts devastating family secrets and pain that has lasted a generation, taking on the devil is exactly what she must do. From Los Angeles Times Book Prize winner and Edgar Award nominee Malanoon comes a stunning portrait of a family divided in a powerful story of how friendship saves and heals. So yes, and then also, like, if I take the dust jacket off, it's just white with like red foiling. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Like I said, it's been on my radar for quite some time, and I felt like it's about due that I go ahead and read this. So I only got pretty much, I got November and December left, so I have so many books I need to read. So please, y'all, pray for me so that I can get all these books done before the year is over. But yeah, this is the other book. So for my rep package, I have this book, A Love Country Bride and Sugartown Queens. And yes, if you really want to, you know, look at more Pug Pages artwork and designs of her edges, please check out her website, which, like I said, is down below, and also my rep code is also down below in the description. But here are the two books for my Pug Pages rep package. So here's that. Next, I have, this is from Source Books or Cork Books. Okay, this is just that. This envelope. Ooh. Oh my gosh. So this is a book that says a novel, Must Love Books by Shauna Robinson. Like, that's pretty, like, this book, oh, it's huge, but I do like it. So this comes out next year. So it comes out January the 18th of 2022. So I definitely will be reading this in January of next year. And this cover is really beautiful. So let me see. So I have this, and then, oh, I got some socks. Oh goodness, I got some tube socks, which I'm a fan of tube socks. So here are the tube socks. It says Must Love Books. Yes, just look at that. I am loving this. It's definitely tube sock season for sure in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm definitely going to be wearing these around the house. So we have that. So, and then we have this envelope. So, okay, so this is from Source Books. So it says, to my fellow book nerds, what is more alluring than a book about books? A book about books with matching socks. So it says, I'll admit that when I first opened First Love Books, the debut from former publishing professional Shauna Robinson, I was expecting a light and breezy read about a young woman making her way into the publishing trade. Younger meets the bookish life of Nina Hill, but this novel, which is more readily classified as millennial contemporary fiction than rom-com, is so much more than that. This novel, which resonates with the pressure points that made Queenie such an explosive read, explores a 20-something trying to find a foothold in publishing. It hits on topics on the center of discourse with the younger workforce, including the search for racial equity, opportunity, and stability in the workplace. Open perspective on happiness, self-worth, and positive mental health in work, relationships, and life. Must Love Books follows Nora Hughes, a young book professional who realizes that not even her favorite hardcovers can distract from the fact that she's drowning in a dream job that has left her financially drained, mentally stressed, and struggling to escape. In a last-ditch effort to rescue herself, Nora begins moonlighting for a rival publisher to make ends meet, and in the process starts fighting for herself, the author she's fallen for, the books she once loved, and her own chance at a happy ending. This is truly one of winter's most read works of fiction. Must Love Books is a book about books with a sharp millennial voice, an accidental attraction, and an honest and raw view of what it means to be a 20-something woman struggling with mental health, battling to make ends meet, and ultimately searching for her place to stand. So yes, this sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to this when it talks about publishing. And I know a lot of people have been having lives about the workplace, mental health, how to have some type of stability as they're working. So this is really interesting. And then even on the back, it says applicant, Nora Hughes, the overworked, underpaid, last assistant standing, at least for now. Experience, 5 years too many. When Nora landed an editorial assistant position at Parsons Press, it was her first step toward the dream job. But after 5 years of lunch orders, finicky authors, and per my last emails, Nora has come to one grand conclusion. Dream jobs do not exist. It says salary expectations, so this is like sort of like her resume. Epsilon. With her life spiraling and the Parsons staff sinking, Nora gets hit with even worse news. Parsons is cutting her already unlivable salary. Unable to afford her rent, Nora decides to moonlight for a rival publisher and maybe poach some Parsons authors along the way. And this says references. None. Well, maybe one. But when Andrew Santos, a best-selling Parsons author no one can afford to lose, is thrown into the mix, Nora has to decide where her loyalties lie. Her new dream job, ever-optimistic Andrew, or herself and her future. It says required, must love books. So literally that's what it's like, her resume on the back of the book. So yes, I'm definitely going to be reading this in January of next year, since it comes out on the 22nd, I believe, or the 18th. I believe it comes out on the 18th. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. But yeah, I'm definitely loving this book because it says must love books. And then I love these matching socks to go with it. So yeah, this is pretty cool. So I'm loving this. So thank you, Source Books, for this. I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. And then the next package right here, this is from HarperCollins. So let me open this one. Okay, so so I did a reading vlog for White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. I also pre-ordered the book, so I was able to get some goodies. If you haven't seen that reading vlog, I'll leave that up above so you can check that out. It was very interesting. But since I pre-ordered the book, I was able to get this keychain where it says White Smoke right here, and then also it says "This is my house" right here, from Epic Reads. And then also they sent me some earrings from her other book, Grown, which I do believe I have those already, but I guess I have another pair just gonna sit here. Who knows, I might wear it one day, I don't know. But yeah, so I got this keychain from White Smoke, and then of course some more earrings from her book that came out last year, Grown, which I haven't read yet, and I should read it, but I'm just not in the mood to read it at this point right now. I'm just trying to like process White Smoke still. So I think Grown I might push that till next year to read it, just to get back in the mood to reading Tiffany D. Jackson's books. But yeah, next package is also from a publisher, and this is from Penguin Random House. And this is, it says The Wild World Handbook Creatures, How Adventurers, Artists, Scientists, and You Can Protect Earth's Animals by Andrea Debink, illustrated by Asia Orlando. So Debink, I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, so this is the book. I guess I could read this to my kids because it's about animals and stuff, and my kids love animals. So like there's a parrot where it says Alex, the parrot who had an incredible brain. So yeah, this looks really cool. So let me see. So this is from Quirk Books. So came with, let's see. So it says, get to know Earth's many animals and how you Yes, you can protect them. It says, we share this incredible planet we call home with countless living creatures, from butterflies, frogs, and falcons to koalas, snakes, and dolphins. And just like us, animals everywhere are faced with the growing threat of climate change. The second book in a series for young activists and conservationists, The Wild World Handbook, Creatures empowers readers to appreciate and protect Earth's wildlife through inspiring stories, fascinating facts, and hands-on STEAM activities, featuring 7 categories of creatures. Each chapter highlights the biographies of scientists, artists, and adventurers from diverse backgrounds who have used their passion and skills to become courageous advocates for animals around the world. Packed with real-life tales of adventure, breathtaking illustrations, and practical tools for environmental stewardship, the Wild World Handbook series presents a roadmap for change to the next generation of climate activists, conservationists, and nature lovers, proving that no matter who you are, you too can make a difference. So yeah, my kids love books. It's like this one says The Long Lives of Reptiles, and then look at the illustrations. So yeah, I'll probably be reading this to my kids because they love animals. They're animal lovers for sure, especially my son. He loves animals so much. So yes, thank you so much, Quirk Books. I do plan on reading this to my children. So we have this one right here. Next book, I think this is a pre-order. So let me open this one. Okay. Yes, this is my pre-order, and this is by Brandy Colbert, and this is Blackbirds in the Sky. This is the story and legacy of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre. So this is a book that she just published and just came out, and I do love the cover so much. And then if I take the dust jacket off, it's red with white foiling. And so let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book. A lot of people don't know much about the Tulsa race massacre that happened in 1921. I definitely think you should look it up and Google it, because it's definitely something, part of Black history, that I feel like definitely needs to be brought up. It should not be erased. It should definitely be acknowledged for what happened in 1921. So it says, in the early morning of June 1st, 1921, an armed white mob marched across the train tracks in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and into its predominantly Black Greenwood district, a thriving, affluent neighborhood known as America's Black Wall Street. In a few short hours, they'd razed 35 square blocks to the ground, leaving hundreds dead. The Tulsa Race Massacre is one of the most devastating acts of racial violence in U.S. history. But how did it come to pass, and why are the events unknown to so many of us today? It is these questions that award-winning author Brandy Colbert seeks to answer in this searing nonfiction account of the Tulsa Race Massacre. Through this examination, a portrait is drawn of an event singular in its devastation, but not in its kind. It is part of a legacy of white violence that can be traced from our country's earliest days through the Reconstruction era, the Civil Rights Movement in the mid-20th century, and the fight for justice and accountability Black Americans still face today. The Tulsa Race Massacre has long failed to fit into the story Americans like to tell themselves about the history of their country. This book, in turn ambitious and intimate, explores the ways in which the story of the Tulsa Race Massacre is the story of America, and by showing us who we are, points to a way forward. So yes, this is a nonfiction book. I believe this is the first nonfiction book that Brandy Colbert has done. And yes, it definitely makes a good point how America does not want to bring this up, does not want to admit this is part of U.S. history. Even when I was in high school, they did not bring up the Tulsa Massacre of 1921 ever. And only reason why, how I knew about it is because I grew up with, with parents that loved history, and also I have a history degree. So it's like, I did research on it. I talked a lot about it. I even did a research paper for one of my seminars to graduate to get my degree. I also did a 100-page paper about the Tulsa Massacre, and also about it's deep, about the lynchings in the U.S. in the North, because lynchings did happen in the North, not just the South. It was just a lot. I did a lot of research. I even looked up first accounts with people's narratives and people's diaries. I even talked to some of my family, especially where were they during this time, like my great grandparents and all that stuff. So yeah, a lot of research taking place, and I feel like people should know about this event. So yes, I definitely plan on reading this. Even though I know most about it, I believe she goes deeper into detail about locations. I know she did Brandy Colbert did her research on this. She actually talked to people in their families that had experienced this, you know, that night and everything like that, and even have, you know, diaries and you know, things written down of that event. So I look forward to reading this. But even on the back, it says, I saw what I thought were little black birds dropping out of the sky over the Greenwood district. But those were no little birds. What was falling from the sky over the Negro district, as it was called in those days, were bullets and devices to set fires and debris of all kinds. That was said by Genevieve Elizabeth Tillman Jackson. She was the Tulsa Race Massacre survivor. So yeah, that's a snippet. So she literally talked to Brandy Colbert had literally did her research and talked to people, like I said, that were survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921. So yeah, I do look forward to reading this, and the cover is beautiful. You can see in the background of you know, of Greenwood burning, and also other people on the cover. So yeah, so I got this. And then next we have my book of the month packages. So let's open this first one right here. So of course, as you open it, it says, you've got great taste. And of course, here is my first book right here. It's from Colson Whitehead, Harlem Shuffle, which I do look forward to reading. If anybody is doing a buddy read for this, please let me know. I'll definitely join. But yeah, we have this. And then for the, let me see. So for the synopsis, it says, let me see. So from two-time Pulitzer race, excuse me, I cannot talk. So it says, Ray Carney was only slightly bent when it came to being crooked. To his customers and neighbors on 125th Street, Carney is an upstanding salesman of reasonably priced furniture, making a decent life for himself and his family. He and his wife, Elizabeth, are expecting their second child, and if her parents on Strivers Row don't approve of him or their cramped apartment across from the subway tracks, it's still home. Few people know he descends from a line of uptown hoods and crooks, and that his facade of normalcy has more than a few cracks in it, cracks that are getting bigger all the time. Cash is tight, especially with all those installment plan sofas, so if his cousin Freddie occasionally drops off the odd ring or necklace, Ray doesn't ask where it comes from. He knows a discreet jeweler downtown who doesn't ask questions either. Then Freddie falls in with a crew who plan to rob the Hotel Teresa, the Waldorf of Harlem, and volunteers Ray's services as the fence. The heist doesn't go as planned. They rarely do. Now Ray has a new clientele, one made up of shady cops, vicious local gangsters, two-bit pornographers, and other assorted Harlem lowlifes. Thus begins the eternal tussle between Ray and the Striver and Ray the Crook. As Ray navigates this double life, he begins to see who actually pulls the strings in Harlem. And then it says, continued on the back flip, can Ray avoid getting killed, save his cousin, and grab his share of the big score, all while maintaining his reputation as the go-to source for all your quality home furniture needs? Harlem Shuffle's ingenuous story plays out in a beautifully recreated New York City of the early 1960s. It's a family saga masquerading as a crime novel, a hilarious morality play, a social novel about race and power, and ultimately a love letter to Harlem. But mostly it's a joy to read, another dazzling novel from the Pulitzer Prize and National Book Award winning Colson Whitehead, which I haven't read any of his books. This is my first book, and I do plan on reading this, especially it's located in Harlem's, and I believe, like I said, the 1960s. So definitely looking forward to reading this. And like I said, if anyone is doing a buddy read, please let me know in the description, because, or in the comments or whatever, because I will definitely join, to read this book with you. So yeah, I have this book. Next book, it is Monsters in the Middle by Tiffany Unique, right here. This was another one of the book picks. So this one, it says, when you meet your love, you are meeting all the people who ever loved them, or who are supposed to love them, but didn't love them enough, or hell, didn't love them at all. It says, when Fly and Stella meet in 21st century New York City, it seems like fate. He's a Black American musician from a mixed religious background who knows all about heartbreak. She's a Catholic science teacher from the Caribbean looking for lasting love. But are they meant to be? The answer goes back decades, all the way to their parents' earliest love. Vibrant and emotionally riveting, Monster in the Middle moves across decades, from the continental United States to the Virgin Islands to Ghana and back again, to show how one couple's romance is intrinsically influenced by the family lore and love stories that preceded their own pairing. What challenges and traumas must this new couple inherit? What hopes and ambitions will keep them moving forward? Exploring desires and identity, religion and class, passion and obligation, the novel posits that in order to answer the question, who are we meant to be with? We must first understand who we are and how we came to be. So yeah, this sounds really good. This sort of fits in with the Black Aweenathon prompt of, like, the extra prompt of, you know, it's like a book in the Caribbean, you know, like that. And if that's the case, who knows, I might just add this to my TBR. But also, how are y'all doing with the Black Aweenathon? Like, I really want to know. Like, let me know down in the comments how y'all been doing. For me, I've read 2 books so far. I read the prompt for the thriller, and I read the prompt for the 20th century book, which, if you don't know what those books are, I'll leave my Black Aweenathon TBR up above so you can check out what I'm reading for the Black Aweenathon. But yeah, let me know how y'all doing. It's been really amazing. I know I'm off topic, but I'm just saying it's been really fun. It's been really fun and really amazing. I love all the sprints, and I also love the locked door events. Those are my favorite. Brit, it has been killing it. Brit, you've been killing it. If you're watching this, you've been killing it, and I appreciate everything that you've done. I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, anyways, back to topic. So this is the other book, Monster in the Middle by Tiffany Unique. And then the next book, I got this copy because I don't know where my other copy is. I think I let somebody borrow it and they never gave it back to me, which that really bugs me. But I went ahead and got another copy. So this is The Vanishing Half of Brit Bennett. So I do plan on reading this. Again, it's the book of the year of 2020 for book of the month, or just in general. So I do plan on reading this again to refresh my memory on some things. But if you've read this already, please let me know your thoughts on it. Please let me know what you thought about it. But if you haven't read it, I'll go ahead and read the synopsis. So it says, twins, inseparable as children, ultimately choose to live in 2 very different worlds, one black and one white. The Vignes sisters will always be identical, but after growing up together in a small southern Black community and running away at age 16, it's not just the shape of their daily lives that is different as adults. It's everything, including their racial identities. Many years later, one sister lives with her Black daughter in the same southern town she once tried to escape. Across the country, the other secretly passes for white, and her white husband knows nothing of her past. Still, although separated by so many miles and just as many lies, the fates of the twins remain intertwined. What will happen when their own daughter's story lines intersect? Weaving together multiple strands and generations from the Deep South to California, from the 1950s to the 1990s, The Vanishing Half is at once a riveting, emotional family story and a brilliant exploration of race, gender, and identity, and the lasting influence of the past as it shapes a person's desires and expectations. So yeah, if you haven't read this, I really recommend it because it's really good, and I'm definitely going to be reading this again. So yeah, I got another copy because I don't know where my other one is, and I really need to find out who I let somebody borrow it, because I'm like, where's my book at? but if not, I'll just let them keep it because I got this one. So yeah, I have this, and then I have my next package, which I got this package because I completed the challenges on book of the month. Like, if I had ordered, I think, like 13 boxes, and then I closed all my rings for the books that I read from book of the month, so I was able to get those. So yeah, so since I ordered like 13 boxes, I'm now a book of the month BFF. So I was able to get this tote right here with the little bookmark right there, and it says book of the month, or book pocket, and then on the back it says book of the month. So I was able to get this, and I definitely will be using this tote. So I was able to get this, and then also I was able to get some socks from book of the month. So yeah, I got some socks. And of course it says, wow, you never got cold feet and now you never will. Congrats on completing the 2021 reading challenge. Oops, Lord, reading challenge. So yeah, I finished the reading challenge. And then the last book that I had gotten, which was the book of the month pick, is The Perishing by Natasha Dion, which I think the cover is mostly what got to me. But let me read the synopsis for this one. So it says, a Black immortal in 1930s Los Angeles seeks to recover the memory of her past in this visionary novel from NAACP Image Award nominee Natasha Dion. Lou, a young Black woman, wakes up in an alley in 1930s Los Angeles with no memory of how she got there or where she's from. Taken in by a caring foster family, Lou dedicates herself to her education while trying to put her mysterious origins behind her. She'll go on to become the first Black female journalist at the Los Angeles Times, but Lou's extraordinary life is about to take an even more remarkable turn. When she befriends a firefighter at a downtown boxing gym, Lou is shocked to realize that though she has no memory of meeting him, she's been drawing his face for years. Increasingly certain that their paths previously crossed and beset by unexplainable flashes from different eras haunting her dreams, Lou begins to believe she may be an immortal sent here for a very important reason, one that only others like her can explain. Setting out to investigate the mystery of her existence, Lou must make sense of the jumble of lifetimes calling to her, just as new forces threaten the existence of those around her. Immersed in the rich historical tapestry of Los Angeles, Prohibition, the creation of Route 66, and the collapse of the St. Francis Dam, The Perishing is a stunning examination of love and justice through the eyes of one miraculous woman whose fate seems linked to the city she comes to call home. So, yeah, I really want to read this. I plan on reading this. Like, I have so much books I need to read, so many books. But I'm hoping to read this. I'm trying to see if they have this on audiobook, and also have to see if they have this on audiobook, because if they do, I'm definitely going to, listen to it on audiobook. That way I can get through them a little bit quicker. But yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. I'm definitely looking forward to reading Monsters in the Middle, and of course Harlem Shuffle. And here is my copy of The Vanishing Half. So these are the book of the month books that I have right here. But that is it. That is all my book mail that I wanted to share with you all. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was long, and I really hope you are enjoying Black Readathon, because it's been really fun, and I look forward to even more activities and more reading sprints with, I do believe my reading sprints is going to be with Erica from The Broken Spine on the 17th of October. I don't remember the time exactly, but I'll leave that in the description down below, because my mind is going blank right now, but I know it's on October the 17th. But yes, that is it. Like I said, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you so much for watching, you guys, and please stay healthy and stay safe. See ya.